hello to all of my millions of roaring fans that have been wondering where my videos are. Yeah. This video is sort of to prove that I'm not dead entirely, but overall, yes, I am pretty much dead. Anyways, I'd like the content to expand beyond plush videos, although those will most likely continue sometime soon. I don't know. My upload schedule's pretty garbage. Anywho, I present to you all 3D games for Sonic.
I want to die, please. Please just kill me, please.
Like, from worst to best. There are a total of 12 3D games, so that's always nice.
In my suffering.
This is gonna be a long video.
I want to.
At number 12, we have, of course, Sonic 06, released November 14th, 2006 in North America, not Japan for some reason. Anyways, Sonic 06 was a monumental success when it first came out until everyone realized that it was complete garbage. The plot, it's kind of generic. It is one of the outliers, just because, you know, the art style is also kind of changed, but it's not really. This game, its gameplay is considered the worst out of all games, I'm pretty sure. Pretty much everything about this game is buggy and just considered worse. The whole thing is pretty much just a bunch of nitpicks of stuff from other games which they did way better. At number 11, we have Shadow the Hedgehog, released November 15th, 2005, also in North America. Shadow the Hedgehog is also considered one of the worst games in the whole franchise. It has pretty terrible graphics, except for the first part, which I'm pretty sure that's what the game's entire budget went to. It is another black sheep. Yeah! What? It's another black sheep of the franchise because, well, it doesn't feature the Blue Hedgie himself as the main character, and instead focuses on his edgy counterpart, Shadow the Hedgehog. The game itself is pretty lackluster, the plot isn't amazing, and the villain is kind of confusing at times. Overall, the game's pretty unnecessary and doesn't really add much to any of the lore or anything. We do get to learn more about Shadow, and he does have some character development, but other than that, the game is pretty much useless. At number 10, we have the very controversial Sonic Forces, released November 7th, 2017, worldwide actually, not just North America. Oh wait, I'm sorry, worldwide everywhere except for Japan. Pretty much where Sonic started in the first place, but I guess I'll roll with it. Sonic Forces was the highly it was very hyped, is what I'm trying to say. People waited a while for it to come out, and people were pretty excited when it did, but they were kind of disappointed. The reason I said controversial at the start is because some people love the game, some people hate it. Personally, I've never really enjoyed it, although I do think the custom character thing at the beginning is a cool little added feature. It's also kind of a throwback to that weird, like, Sonic character creator thing that you can, like, find on Newgrounds or something. The game's plot is very good, actually. It's completely different than any other Sonic the Hedgehog game plot, so, you know, I'll roll with it. The gameplay isn't terrible. It could be a lot better, but it is a 3D Sonic game, so I don't expect much in that category. The speed of sound. Next up, we have Sonic and the Secret Rings, released February 20th, 2007 in North America. This game is, honestly, one of my personal favorites, but just kind of looking at it, it's not really a quality game. It came out on the Wii, and most Most games that came out on the Wii are pretty decent from time to time. Rings, however, was not one of those games. The plot is sort of interesting, but it's also kind of generic at times, and really the whole thing doesn't really add a whole lot. It's just kind of another Sonic meets a girl, girl has a problem, Sonic solves problem. Everyone else is unimportant. The gameplay sucks, and that's kind of why I don't like the game very much. Next up, we have Ring's slightly better counterpart, Black Knight, or Sonic and the Black Knight. I hate this game for the sole purpose that it doesn't have a Black Knight. The game was released on March 3rd, 2009 in North America, and it's considered one of the more decent games, but it's not really perfect. The plot is kind of interesting. It's kind of confusing at times, though, so if you're just starting with the Sonic franchise, I do not suggest playing Black Knight from the start. It isn't really an original idea, but like I said, it's kind of an outlier from most Sonic plots. The gameplay's not really horrible, but it could be better, as for most Sonic 3D games. So the game's not really a bad game, it's just not really good either. Next, we have Sonic Heroes. Personally, I've always hated this game. I hate this game a lot. I really hate it. I really hate Sonic Heroes. But it's not really a horrible game. It was released on December 30th, 2003 in Japan. That's a first. The game kind of just started playing around with, graphic design stuff and kind of not really redesigning the characters, but animating them in a different way and using different, animation methods. The physics in the game is way different than most other Sonic game. Physics, it's just really weird. It's kind of like Sid the Science Kid stuff. The game's plot pretty much boils down to one word, teamwork, and that's really it. So, yeah, probably not the best game to start out on, but hey, it's got Metal Sonic in it, so, whatever. This is one of the last games that was released that actually had decent gameplay before the game started going to absolute garbage, so, that's always nice. After Heroes, we have Sonic Adventure 1. Yeah. It was released on December 23rd, 1998, and it is the first Sonic 3D game. Yeah, also it was released in Japan originally. Yeah. Sonic Adventures is definitely one of the best games, not only 3D games, but just in the entire franchise as a whole. I can't speak. The game has a pretty cool plot. Gameplay's not horrible because of how, I don't really want to say slow-paced, but compared to the other 3D games, the Sonic Adventure gameplay is really slow in comparison, not on its own. There seems to be a more heavy emphasis on the characters this time around, and that kind of brings the game's quality up. It is certainly one of the better games in the 3D franchise, but it's not really the best.
Niggers.
After Adventure, we have the dearly beloved Colors, Sonic Colors. It was released on November 11, 2010 in, Australasia. I don't know. I have no idea what that is. This is, there's kind of some personal bias here because I have a lot of nostalgia for the game because I used to play this on my DS, all the time. Most people just consider the game to be decent, so it's probably around adventure level quality, but, I don't really care. The game itself is pretty good. The plot is kind of cartoony, actually. Some of the other 3D games have serious plots, while this is just kind of like a joke-around plot. It's more just for laughs than anything. The gameplay's pretty easy, and it's pretty cool. I mean, the visuals are very nice. So, yeah, one of my favorite Sonic games of all time. After Colors, we have Sonic Unleashed, released on November 18th, 2008 in North America. Sonic Unleashed is personally one of my favorite games. It introduces the Werehog, one of the most demented and evil creatures in all of Sonic. Also, that's probably what most of the fan art is about. No, I mean, there's a lot of fan art. Sonic Unleashed is actually considered a pretty bad game by some, while others consider it to be a good game. It's another one of the controversial on the list, but I like it way more than I like Forces. Why, you may ask? Well, the freaking song that it opens with, like, you know, for the trailer, look it up, it's really, really good. The plot is kind of reminiscent of Sonic 06, but it's pretty different on its own right. The gameplay's pretty good as well, it's not horrible, and the soundtrack is freaking awesome. I really love Sonic Unleashed. This is my escape. I'm running through this world and I'm not looking back. Cause I know where to go when no one's ever gone and I'm not looking back. But how will I know when I got there? And how will I know when to leave? We've all gotta start from somewhere, and it's right there for me. The possibilities are never ending. I see it, and now it's all in my reach, and there's possibilities. I see it now, it's always been inside of me, and I feel so free, and there's possibilities. After Unleashed, we have Lost World, released on the Wii U, I believe. It was released on October 29th, 2013 in North America. It's one of the more cartoony ones, but hey, I'll roll with it. It actually is pretty similar to colors on a whole lot of levels, and that's probably why I like it so much. It's one of the first Sonic games I ever actually played, besides the original, of course. There's another emphasis on characters on this one, well, pretty much just Sonic and Tails, and Eggman has some character development, surprisingly. The gameplay is not horrible, but once again, it could be a lot better, so all in all, the game's pretty good. Next up, we have the first real game I've actually... the first real 3D game I actually played of Sonic. Generations. The game was released on November 1st, 2011. I actually thought it was released in 2013, so I'm pretty stupid. Generations has the most original part of all the Sonic games, in my personal opinion. It's pretty cool, and it definitely has the most originality just as a whole. One thing I really love about the game is the soundtrack. Pretty much every soundtrack is just a soundtrack from an older game with a classic and a modern version. The gameplay is very good, and the boss fight is one of my favorite boss fights of all Sonic games. It might be my favorite boss fight, but I don't know. The whole Mephiles and Iblis mix is pretty cool. Now here it is, number 1. I mean, let's face it, we all know what number 1 is going to be. It is Sonic 3D Blast. It's one of the best games of all time. The plot is amazing, the characters are awesome, the gameplay is perfect, and the soundtrack has some sick bass lines to boot. It was released on, who cares? This game's timeless. It doesn't matter when it was released. You all need to go buy it right now. Okay, but for real now. The first real 3D game, I guess. No one cares about that. The greatest Sonic 3D game, and often considered the best Sonic game of all time, Sonic Adventure 2. Yeah, released June 18th in 2001 in North America, Sonic Adventure 2 is considered the best best game of all time.
Some great soundtracks, great gameplay, awesome characters, and really, it's just overall a really great game. It's not my personal favorite, but I definitely think it's the highest quality of all the Sonic games. So, that was it. This is my first real compilation and list, my first list ever, actually, and I'm recording my voice on my phone, so it probably really sucks, asshole. Also, I'm really tired, so my voice sounds like absolute garbage, but you know what? Who cares? No one's gonna watch this video anyways. So, yeah. That's it. You can leave. I don't know why you're still here.